Meet Electric Kiwi, the smaller, smarter power company. Proud to deliver you the project. Saving your first year guaranteed. Check us out today.
Okay, now today we learned the incredible story of a bright young student taken too soon who in death helped save the lives of 6 strangers. Should her story now be a turning point for the rest of us? Gabby Marsh was celebrating with her mates the night before her 20th birthday.
She started, getting a headache, and she started saying, it hurt behind her eyes and behind her ears, and her teeth started hurting.
But 2 hours later, she fell unconscious and never woke up.
I think I've been recklessly swinging between thinking it didn't happen and the harsh realisation that it did.
Doctors say she had a brain hemorrhage from a condition she was most likely born with. There was nothing anyone could have done. An intelligent and motivated law and commerce student, her uni friends are fundraising for a scholarship in her name.
We've set up the Gabby Marsh Scholarship, which will be a scholarship aimed at a school leaver, young school leaver, that demonstrates exemplary leadership skills and character.
It may have been her birthday, but in the end, it was Gabby who gave the gifts.
A whole series of her organs were donated from her liver to her heart valves, and these alone have saved 6 lives.
Right now, there are 550 Kiwis waiting for an organ or tissue transplant. And compared with the rest of the world, our donation rates are shamefully low. In 2016, there were only 13 organ donations per million people, while Spain led the world in 2016 with 43 donors. Spain, France and Wales all have an opt-out policy, which means citizens are presumed to be donors unless they say otherwise. New Zealand doesn't have an official donor register. You can say you want to be a donor on your driver's licence, but this isn't binding, and your family can still override your decision. So, is it time we all took more control over the legacy we leave behind? Well, we're joined now by Give Life organ donation campaigner Andy Tukey. Andy, this is something so important, but many people don't even like to talk about it. How do we change that?
I think this is why we need a register, maybe even a binding register, just so that the wishes can be upheld. But people do need to have the conversation. Because we have no register, then in the meantime, for those of you watching this programme right now, have the discussion with your family right now. Just bear in mind that you are not likely to be a donor, but you're more likely to need an organ. So for your own future, you should discuss it with your family right now.
Andy, it seems tricky, really. Is it true that even if you want to be a donor, somebody in your distant family, an estranged aunt or your cousin or someone like that, could actually say no?
That's correct. A lot of people think that it would be just your next of kin who could say no. But no, it's a much wider family. And I think under the current law, it can be somebody to whom you have a cultural or spiritual connection. Now, that's bizarre. I have a spiritual connection to Kylie Minogue, but that doesn't mean to say that she gets to say what organs I can donate or not.
Why don't we have that register? What's so hard about getting that started?
Well, it's been on and off for many years. I've been campaigning to the government for 15 years on this, and there's arguments for and against. They don't think an organ donor register will raise the organ donor rate, which they're probably right. On its own, it won't. It's got to be with a whole lot of other measures in place. It's just one part of the jigsaw. And I think the big reason why 6 out of 10 families are saying no to organ donation is that they're being asked at the worst possible time. Their loved one has just died in a sudden accident, and by the way, can we have their organs? And I think the initial reaction is to say no. Whereas if they'd had that conversation previously or knew that person's wishes, it would be much easier. Now, in other countries, they do have TV commercials, a lot of public awareness. The TV commercials are up there with the drink driving, the seat belts. It's a continuous, ongoing thing that normalises it. Here, we have no publicity whatsoever, so it just hits them at a time where they have no information.
Andy, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Great, thank you.
And if you want to donate to the Give a Little page that's set up for the Gabby Marsh Scholarship, you'll find the link on our Facebook page. They've reached almost $30,000 so far, which is awesome. Now, Andy raises a really good point there. I was just thinking, I have no idea if my husband would want his organs donated or not. Do any of you guys
know what your husband wants? I don't know what your husband wants either. He stopped talking to me about his organs.
I play cricket with your husband. Could I have his bowling arm? It's really, really good. Yeah.
Yes, you can have his unbroken Achilles tendons that go with that bowling arm as well.
But it's such a good conversation to have, isn't it? Sorry, Jessie.
Totally
None of
but
us
you don't
know.
talk about death with your partner generally. You don't sit down with a glass of wine and say, so when you die, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
True.
All right.